solo, you might notice that there's nobody behind me. We're gonna rock this thing out together. You're gonna see me sweat. I might have to take a few breaks here and there to be able to coach you guys appropriately, but don't let that stop you. I want you to continue to keep moving as you go through this. Today is a body weight workout. So for the most part, we will have a couple of exercises where it could be weight optional, but generally speaking, you don't need anything today. You can just rock it with our bodies here. I'll be going through a few more manageable options throughout things, but generally we're gonna be status quo going through. If you got any injuries, just pay attention to things, keep yourself safe, don't be afraid to substitute or sit out of movement. You wanna throw any tunes on, this is the appropriate time to do so. Let's get ourselves moving. We've got our new warm-ups. We're gonna start with our greatest stretch in the world, and this will have 2 turns at the bottom of it. So we want some room to step backwards. We got our feet together, big step going back. We're gonna start by turning to that forward side leg. Then we rotate hand to the inside of the foot and open to that next side. Bring the hand down and practice kind of a balanced, strong stand up. Switch it, big step, find the rotation to the forward leg. All right, then hand to the inside of that foot. All right, bring it back down and go ahead and stand back up. Nice and tall. We got 2 more. Big step, nice rotation, sink the hips a little bit, then place that hand to the inside of the foot. Bring it down and stand up tall, and we got our final one. So early on as you're doing this, just think, I'm trying to find some stretching going on. Where can I feel my body opening up? And some strength through that forward leg. We're using the heels with a lot of what we're doing with the legs. Next up, we've got a real wide stance with the feet. We're gonna have some room to move forward into this as well. So I've got my wide stance. I'm gonna sit back and down to one side. I'm gonna gently place the hands to the floor, walk them out so I get centered between the feet, walk back to the opposite side, put that heel down and drive myself back up. Switch it, sit into the next side, walk it out to that center point, walk it back into the reverse, heel down, drive up. 2 more. Sit into it, walk it on out. Nice little plank as your finish point as you walk out, and then bring it back in, and we got our final one here. All right, that heel goes down. We make our way up from here. We get into a little bit of that single leg deadlift with some stretching through our quad. So I'd like you to grab a foot behind you. Your arm is gonna reach out as you hinge forward, and we come back up and we switch it. Now, if you like, you can kick the foot into the hand a little bit more so you can get some extra activity. That'll open you up. You'll feel kind of that open space kind of become a little bit wider. Hinge forward, reaching through it. You don't need to get to a perfect T position. You'll notice that I'm going maybe about 3/4 of the way down before I get to that full T position. One more, last one. All right, and then our final warm-up movement, let's bring it down to the floor. We're gonna go a half kneeling position. So left knee is gonna be down. We have our right foot in front. Left hand is behind us. Now, I'm kind of lining up and making sure my knee and foot are in front. I'm gonna lean forward, bringing that knee over the toes, pull this elbow back, and then I reverse back, do a little crunch. All right, so for myself, I was just thinking, I need to open this up a little bit extra. I'm long, I'm gonna lean into that more. And now as I press back, I can get a better stretch of that forward leg through that hamstring. All right, let's go one more here. Find that inhale as you come forward, open the chest and shoulders, push back and stretch the back of that leg. Let's switch it. Right knee goes down, left foot comes out in front. And bring that right hand behind your head. I'm gonna lean forward, pull the elbow back. We're gonna push back and do that little crunch. Inhale, bring it forward, open up. Exhale, drive it back. 2 more. Inhale forward, exhale back, and our final one. All right. Very nice, everybody. We're gonna build into our blind balance segment today. So first off, what it is. Side position is where I'm gonna show you. We're gonna have one foot extend back, but stay on the air, and then bring the knee up and bring the foot down. So it's an extension behind you, bringing the knee up, and then the foot down. I'm gonna start my clock, which is gonna give us 10 seconds to get going. What we're gonna do is get in a position where we feel safe, there's no sharp objects. We're gonna lightly close our eyes and practice that in 3, in 2, in 1. Now you may notice something that I like to do is hug my hands right against the sides of my chest. I find that really improves my balance for me here. Okay, a little bit of a gentle kick back, little knee up. And of course, if you're having some issues, welcome to the club. Doing this for a reason, because we struggle with it. When we challenge our body and our minds, then we can create some good change. 2 and 1. All right, come down to the floor with me. We're going to start our core 4 from here. This is going to be a bear crawl with those windmill arms. The option is going to be tapping the knees. Okay, so I'm going to give you your regular movement in 3, in 2, in 1. It's that bear crawl with the knees lightly above the floor. One arm's going to swoop around and come back down. Then the next is going to do that. Now there is a little bit of a lift on each side, but we want to keep it small. The more we can keep the body still through this, the more we're going to get out of it. Once again, that more manageable option right here would be to allow the knees to tap and then to lift them back up again. You can kind of find whatever works best for you. We'll turn to our butt in 3, in 2, in 1. Turn it around. From here, we're going to go our Russian twist. So side to side. Your more manageable option is what I'm doing here, where your feet are on the floor. Otherwise, lift those feet up, challenge the balance a little bit more. Find some smooth breathing. Keep your chest tall, kind of that spine upright. We're going to finish our core 4 with our reverse crunches and a twist at the top. In 3, in 2, come onto your back, have your hands down at your side, lift your legs up, do a twist to one side, and smoothly come back to the floor. One side only for our first 30, and then we'll switch it over. All right, so as you push the hips off the floor, breathe out. Inhale as you slowly return back down. We're just going to simply switch our sides with the twist, beginning in 3, in 2, in 1. Switch the twist. Control that down still. Now, a more manageable approach, those knees are extra bent as you come back down. More challenging approach is having those legs be nice and straight through the up and down. All right, we got 10 more seconds with this. Then we'll be standing for our cardio. Let's go finished up with these in 3, in 2, in 1. Go ahead and make your way to a standing point. We're going to finish up with our cardio being 30 seconds of punches here. So we're going to get into an athletic stance. Knees are bent, hinge forward a little bit, hands at the ribs in 3, in 2, in 1. You're throwing one punch at a time. You're visualizing where you're punching, right? So connecting hands and eyes here. And you're breathing out with each punch. And when you can do that, we can really just keep that oxygen steady as opposed to holding our breath and kind of burning out here. Feel your abs working. We go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Good. Now you are officially warm, everybody. Give yourselves a nice little pat on the back. We'll send out a few high fives coming your way. Get a quick sip of water if you need it, and then we're going to demo what we're doing for our slow, moderate, and fast series coming up. 3 movements. Once again, body weight is the name of the game today. So we're going to start out first with hands behind the head. This is an old cardio movement we've done in the past. Do a squat coming down, and then an opposite elbow and knee crunch. And once again, that first round, we're going super slow, right? So really challenging more the balance aspect of the top of things, okay? Our second movement is a step back lunge and a kick. And you can do the kick for however it works best for you. But essentially, we do our basic step back lunge, slow motion kick, and then bring the foot down and switch. It's going to be key that we switch with each of these. Really slow lunge, really slow kick, and of course with those following rounds, we'll speed things up a little bit. Third and final movement, we take it down to the floor. It is a plank position. It is a corner heel lift. So I'm not going straight up, I'm not going straight to the side. I'm going to a 45-degree corner on each of my legs. All right, you've got that option to do that from the elbows as well. So let's go ahead and set our timers. Once again, body weight is the name of the game. Squats and crunches at the top of that squat is where we'll start. We'll get ourselves going in 10 seconds here, folks. So 45 seconds for our first slow movement. 2, 1, one good squat coming down, and then at the top, that little crunch. Once again, we're slowing everything down. And this is an opportunity through a squat to fine-tune how you feel your heels, how you can feel your body equally distributed between both feet going down and up. And then just the control of going single leg at the top, right? Centering back before you come all the way to the floor with that second foot. We'll go 10 more seconds through here. All right, last few. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Second movement, step back lunge and a kick. Slow motion with this, and when you come back down, you're gonna switch the foot each time, all right? Switch the foot. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Do that slow step back lunge. Bring it up, give me a little lean back, see where you can get that foot, and then drop it down and switch it. Take your time. As far as a good lunge is concerned, I want that knee to stay on top of this foot. That's going to keep safety as well as the strength where it needs to be in the movement. Yeah, there we go. Now, if it's a small kick, no big deal. No big deal at all, right? Practice wherever you can that gives you that challenge. We got 10 more seconds, and we're going to go down to the floor for the plank corner heel lifts. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. All right, to the floor plank position. We're going to do corner heel lifts, so we want hands to be right under the shoulders. We want the feet to just be a little bit apart. We'll start in 3, in 2, in 1. I'm going to bring my lats down for that good plank position. I'm going to lift and slowly return back down. Switching it over with each of these. Now, if you needed to take a break, you could bend your knees. You could also do this movement onto the elbows. We just want to stack those elbows right underneath the shoulders for that good safety throughout. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a turn so I can watch the clock with you guys. I'd hate to run you long on this stuff. We're going to go straight into our second round, which is going to be the moderate pace right after this. So we'll be standing and doing squats to follow. Let's go finished with the heel lifts in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go ahead and bring it on up. This time we're at our normal pace for our squat and crunch. Normal pace coming up. I am sweating. I hope you guys are too. Let's get to our second round in 3, in 2, in 1. One good squat. Give me a little crunch. Moderate pace. Nothing too fast. But now we're starting to push tempo a little bit. But when you crunch, breathe out. I like to square up at the top each time. Think about how I'm facing you all at the top of this each time. After this, we'll go to step back lunges and kicks in 3, in 2, in 1. Get yourself set. You need that room to step backwards. This time, normal speed for a kick. Nothing too fast. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Step back lunge, kick, bring it down, switch. Switch with each. And just like we did with the hands, let's work on focusing on where you're trying to kick with each of these. Kind of put eye to foot coordination now. Okay, more manageable approach, you're just working on not going too low and maybe kicking where you feel comfortable. Okay, we go finished with these in 3, in 2, in 1. It's plank position and heel lifts. Normal speeds coming up. Hands right under the shoulders or elbows right under the shoulders. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Once again, I'm going to bring my shoulders down first. That's really going to reset my lats into the movement. And we're just kind of going more of a moderate speed this time through the lifts and the lowerings. All right. right, remember you can go down onto the elbows if you need through here as well. We got ourselves 10 good seconds, smooth breathing, and then we're standing back up for our third round. Let's go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Bring it up. Bring your hands behind your head. Have that squat position ready to go. Crunches at a quicker speed. Doesn't need to be perfect, but quicker. In 2, in 1. Squat it down, crunch it, reverse. Find that breath out at the top. Find that crunch at the top. Last few, finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Good. Second movement. Step back lunge to the kick. Switching with each. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Once again, this does not need to be super fast. You just go in a little bit faster than what you did in that previous round. Still get those opportunities to kind of find eye and foot coordination. Last few, then we go to the floor. 3, 2, and 1. All right, planks with the heel lifts where we finish this set out. Come on down, get into your great positioning. We'll start in 2, in 1. Now a little quicker as we go. Shoulder blades stay down. And feel those core muscles staying strong underneath you. Feel those lats under your armpits working hard to keep you in place. All right, last few. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Bend your knees and rest for a moment. Nicely done, everybody. All right, so when we get to the bottom of this timer, we're going to be getting into our blind balance set, core 4, and the cardio. We'll have an additional 3 minutes of work coming up. Get yourself a quick bit of hydration, shake it out. Random high fives, always greatly appreciated. Whew. All right, so remember for our blind balance set, we're gonna have our feet together. You're gonna do a little extension behind you and pull the knee up and then switch. We're always gonna switch the foot with this. And I like the hands to be close to the chest to help your balance get better. All right, starting in 10, feet together, maybe hands against the sides of the chest. We're gonna lightly close the eyes. 3, 2, 1. Extension, knee up, down and switch. There you go, everybody. Practice it. Find steady breathing as we go. It's a time to try to center yourself. Let's go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's bring it down to the floor. We're going to start our core 4. Remember, this is 4 straight in a row. It's going to be the bear crawl with the windmill arms first. Then we'll go Russian twist. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Shoulders down with those lats. Wrap that arm around and reverse. The full range of motion is what we're looking for in the arms here. Right, a great windmill so you can open up mobility through those shoulders. Now, more manageable option is just the tap of the knees and then the lift back up. Okay, we're going to be turning around, going to Russian twist next, starting in 3, in 2, in 1. Flip it around onto your butt. Legs either up into the air or heels down on the floor. Try to flex your feet, everybody. Give yourself a little dorsiflexion here. Keep tall through the top half. And find that smooth, steady breathing. All right, after this, we're going onto our back. Reverse crunches with a twist. One side only in 3, in 2, in 1. Go onto your back, hands down at your sides. Lift the legs and hips up with a twist to one side only. Now remember, as we push up, breathe out. Control the down, folks. The biggest thing we can do right here to make our time valuable is put control into the lowering process. We're going to simply switch the sides, beginning in 3, in 2, in 1, switch the twist, keep moving. There we go. If you can get higher and still control it at the top, I want you to practice that. Those legs stay out straighter, you get additional challenge into what we're doing. If those knees bend, we have a more manageable option for everybody. We'll be standing for cardio next, finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go ahead and bring it up. You get into that athletic stance, so I want the feet wide, the knees bent, maybe the top half of the body tilted a little forward. Hands are going to be right against the ribs, fists against the ribs in 3, in 2, in 1. One crisp punch, right? So I'm thinking quick, and I'm trying to pull my hand back quickly as well. So I punch at one speed, I pull back really quickly as well. Gonna breathe out with each punch. And then you find some strength, you work on that hand-eye coordination, maybe even you turn up the speed a little bit. We go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. That is good, everybody. More than halfway done with this thing. Give yourself a nice little pat on the back. Get yourself some water, treat yourself to some hydration. Woo! I'm losing some hydration over here. All right, and we've got our extended Tabatas. So extended Tabatas, 30-10s coming up as kind of the second half of what we're doing today. Let's go over them real quick. These first 2 movements are weight optional. So if you do want to take your exercise to kind of the next level today, grab some moderate weights. 2 of them would work really, really well, or a single heavy weight will work just fine as well. We're going to start out with a little leg work. We're going to do a curtsey plus a lateral lunge on one side, then we'll switch it. So I'm going to bring my hands kind of once again into the pockets besides the chest and into the armpits. Curtsey is first, so I step back to that corner lunge, and then I step out to that lateral lunge. And I simply repeat. I go straight back to that curtsey, and I go back to that lateral lunge. We'll do that on both of the sides. Then our second movement from there is going to be a split lunge, something we did yesterday, keeping the arms overhead. You could be holding those weights overhead, but we're going to maintain that split lunge. So back foot is going to stay on the toes. We're not going to step in and out of this. We're going to stay in our positioning. We're going to bring the arms up, hold them up, work down into that lunge, and drive up nice and strong. All right? We'll do this one on both of our sides, and then from there, we'll be bringing it down to the floor. Windshield wiper legs will be next. We'll go onto your back, and we'll take your arms out wide, and we'll have the legs kind of work side to side. Okay, then our fourth movement, we're going to be getting into our hollow hold. So we're going to once again get onto the back. We're going to have legs and arms up into the air, and we're just going to simply hold that position at the top, keeping the eyes looking at the ceiling. Then our final movement is the donkey kick. We're going to get onto hands and knees. Hands right under shoulders, knees right under hips. We're going to keep that knee bent on whatever leg's going to kick straight up and control it back down. After 30 seconds, we'll simply switch those sides. So that's what we got coming up. Once again, weight optional is there for you. Let's go ahead and get our clock ready. It's going to be curtsies and lateral lunges to get started. Get in position where you can move to one side here. Hands set in 3, in 2, in 1. The curtsey happens first. We step out to that lunge, and then we just simply go right back to the curtsey from there. Now, more manageable approach. We're just not adding a lot of depth, right? So we go about half the way here. We step. We practice pushing the hips back. If these movements kind of are extra challenging for you, slow them down and work on the mechanics, right? I want that heel in front to be in charge here. I want the heel out here to now take over. 3, 2, and 1. Simply switching our sides. Get prepped for your next side. Feet together with room to move to the side. 3, 2, 1. Start with the curtsey first. Then work to that lateral lunge. Once again, forward heel to outside heel. And as you can add depth or speed, you can take things up a notch, as well as just adding some weight. All right, less than 10. After this, we're gonna have the split lunge with the overhead hold. 3, 2, 1. All right, next movement, split lunge. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. We're gonna keep this knee on top of the foot. Arms up, 2, 1. Bring it straight down, drive up through that heel. Now, one thing I want you to notice is that I'm slightly tilted forward, right? I'm not straight up doing this right here. I'm gonna put just the littlest tilt. That's gonna keep my low back just a little more flat as we go up and down. I'm also thinking about, is this knee staying on top of the foot as we go down? Is this knee avoiding going in? Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Stand up, shake it out. Second side coming up. Get into your split stance, put the weight up front, arms up. 3, 2, 1. Drop it down, drive it up. Same thing, little tilt. I'm putting that weight on my left heel, my forward heel, and trying to drive straight up through there. When I come up, I breathe out. Watching that knee, don't let it go in. We got last few. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Go onto your back on the floor, windshield wiper legs, side to side. Arms wide, grounding you in 3, in 2, in 1. Now start with the legs not going too far. First few reps, don't go very far. I want you to warm up into it. Once you've done maybe 3 or 4, you can start to expand. If you keep the legs totally straight, you're definitely taking the movement to the next level. If you need it to be a little more manageable, I want those knees bent. You can still work that nice side to side. All right, finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. From here, stay onto your back, hollow hold for 30 seconds coming up. Hands, feet up, 2, 1. Everything's here. I've lifted my head. I'm keeping my eyes up at the ceiling. I'm really focused on my low back here. So that arch in my low back, I want to push it down. And for me, I have trouble doing that. So I'm going to raise my feet up a little higher. And now I can really generate kind of that pressure between my low back and the floor, filling the gap. You can also have 1 foot resting. 3, 2, 1. Donkey kicks finish us up. Turn around, hands in knees position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Bend the knee and lift in 3, in 2, in 1. We're kind of going for the glute here. And let's also think about a few other bits. My lats, turn them on. So now I've got some back activity. And I'm trying to keep the rest of my body still, which means my core is working hard to do so. All right, we've got ourselves about 10 seconds left on this side. Then we'll switch it over. Continue to practice smooth breathing. 3, 2, 1. You got 10 seconds of rest. Second side for those donkey kicks. We'll finish up our first round. Lats down. 3, 2, 1. Kick up. Control the down. Feel your booty doing the push. And feel your core really balancing and stabilizing the body. As you push up, breathe out. 10 seconds. All right, we go finished up in 3, in 2, and rest, recover. Nicely done, everybody. You got your first round in the books. Got 1 more round of that Tabata. My goodness gracious, I am getting sweaty over here. I got a whole new respect for all those trainers who do the entire workout with you guys and talk the whole time. It's not so easy, I promise you. Get yourself a quick sip of water. We got 1 more round. And after we finish that up, you know that we're going to get into a little bit of that blind balance, core 4, and cardio. All right, so we're going to start out with the curtsey and the lateral lunge. We're gonna go 10 seconds and we get there. If you want weight, you grab it now. Have that space to move side to side. Beginning in 3, in 2, in 1. Curtsey first, lateral lunge from there. Now, if you're feeling good, maybe you're gonna start pushing pace. All right, you get a little pop from that curtsey that can momentum drive you in to that lateral lunge. Same thing I've been teaching with the lunges. I've got a little tilt of my body forward with both these movements. So I'm keeping my low back a little happier by doing so. Let's go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. We got 10, then we switch it. Get into a good position, feet together. You got the space to the side. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Curtsey, lateral lunge. All right, so find your balances here, right? Once again, if you're feeling good, you're starting to push tempo, giving me a little bit of an explosive push out of that curtsey, and then driving straight back from that lateral lunge. We're gonna stay standing and move into the split lunge next with those overhead arms. 3, 2, and 1. Next up, room to step behind you. Arms are gonna be up, feet together. Split stance stays in 3, 2, 1. Drive it straight down, drive it straight up. And right off the bat, I'm looking down at my knee, making sure it's not coming inward. I'm thinking about my outside hip, pulling the knee just lightly out. And I'm feeling my shoulder blades behind me, some of my back muscles turning on to hold those arms up. Last few, finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Stand up, breathe it out. Second side coming up. Let's get into that split stance once again. Eyeball the knee. 3, 2, 1. Straight down. Drive up with power. Drive up, breathe out. There we go, folks. There we go. Feeling your back muscles holding those arms up. Less than 10, then we go to the floor on our back. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go onto our backs. Windshield wiper legs with our arms wide to give us some stabilization. In 3, in 2, in 1. Start just a little bit, not quite as deep. And then with time, you're welcome to add whatever depth you like. Now this could be a slow movement. This could be a fast movement. And get a little bit of variation out of what you get from both of those. And it's kind of highlighted by what we've been doing in our slow, moderate, fast series. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Hollow hold next. On your back still, hands up, feet up. 3, 2, 1. Head lifts, eyes are at the ceiling, and we've got that low back press down as the most important piece to what we're doing. Now, option, drop the other leg down if you need that as your manageable approach here. You can still push that low back down and get as much out of it with that single leg down. All right, last few. 3, 2, and 1. Let's turn it around. Let's go hands and knees. Our donkey kick from that position. Gonna finish out our Tabata. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Pull those lats down. Kick that heel straight up. As you kick up, breathe out. That core stabilizing. Kind of equal weight between both hands. Last few. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for 10. Second side coming up. Once again, lats. Pull them down. 3, 2, 1. Kick up. Control the down. Good. There's your breathing. Feel your butt as you kick up. Doing great, everybody. Focus to the finish. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for a moment here. Woo! You done well. We got one more round of that blind balance coming up. Let's not waste too much time. Let's just get to it. We'll start in 10. Standing up. Remember, gentle kick back and knee in and switch. Close your eyes in 3, in 2, in 1. Find that little extension back. Pull the knee up and then switch it. I've been noticing, I practice these before we get on, and I noticed that the first 2 are really tough for me to get the balance down. And my body starts to kick into things with some time. So just be patient with yourself if those first few are giving you quite a bit of struggle. 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it down to the floor. We got our bear crawl position. Manageable option is tapping those knees. Regular option, windmill arms. Remember your lats, folks. Remember your lats. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Big windmill rotation, then switch. Eyes should be looking down at the mat. Keep that spine in good alignment. Okay, controlling, minimizing movement. Got ourselves about 10 seconds, and then we'll be turning onto our butt for the Russian twist. 3, 2, 1. Turn it around. Get moving. Russian twist. Feet either up into the air or heels to the floor. You can even extend those legs if you like to take it next level. Now, main thing I want is control. So where can you control your motion? Where can you stay tall through your spine? Smooth breathing, folks. Flex those feet. Last few. We go on to our back next. 3, 2, 1. Reverse crunch with the twist. Lift up, twist to one side, and control that return. As you push off the floor, breathe out. Control the down. Okay, and if you notice that your neck gets tight here, I want you to just kind of reach your hands further down the mat. 2, 1, switch the twist. All right, you can bend those knees more if you need a little assistance at any point. Doing great, everybody. We're gonna have cardio to finish us up today. Standing punches in 10 seconds. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's bring it up. Last little bit has our 30 seconds of punches here. Athletic stance, hands beside you. Plant the weight between those heels and one crisp, strong punch at a time. In 3, in 2, in 1. Visualize where you're punching, right? Hit that target. Breathe out with each punch. And think about pulling those fists back just a little faster, a little stronger, to really wake up some additional challenge into your motion. You got 10 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Everybody, I survived. You survived. Nicely done out there. Good work. Let's throw out a few random high fives, a few sweaty high fives here. Nicely done. All right, so get yourself a little bit of water. Let's bring it down to the floor. Let's get into a time to cool it down, a time to stretch it out, and a time to talk a little bit about our lives in COVID, what we're going to talk today about. So I'm going to start just arms really outstretched over my head. All right, I'm going to find the belly breath coming in, and then that longer exhale out, and my abs contracting with that longer exhale. Once again, nice big belly breath in, raising up. And that longer exhale with the contraction going out. I'm gonna bring my right leg up. I'm gonna put my hands behind that right leg. I like to get playful with the foot. I find a bunch of little cool stretches through my ankles and Achilles and top foot, so I'd recommend the same for you guys. Let's keep your neck muscles relaxed as we're here. Let's once again kick into that belly breathing. Nice big inhale. Nice long exhale. Let's bring that leg a little across. Same thing, continue to play with the foot if you feel good with that. Okay, continue to keep the neck soft. Nice big inhale in. Nice long exhale out. We're gonna bend the knee, twist it to the left side, top of the body turns to the right side, eyes to the right side. Okay. This is a low back opener, thoracic spine, kind of middle back as well. Feel those areas, breathe into them. Nice long exhale out. And then let's go ahead and drop the twist. Bring your left leg up, straight up, maybe a movable foot at the top. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about reassessing our current lives in COVID. Let's go ahead and bring that foot just a little bit across. So obviously when everything hit us kind of mid-March or even early March, it was pretty drastic. I mean, I don't think any of us were really prepared. We certainly didn't know or understand what was going to be happening as a part of this, even when we get back. I mean, here we are, a number of months later, and we still haven't, opened much up. Let's go ahead and bend the knee, twist over, look to that left side and hold it. And so, we were kind of haphazardly forced to put together what our work schedule looks like, what our workout schedule looks like, what our time with our kids looks like, how that's spent, sharing spaces in a home. Let's go ahead and untwist. We'll get into our butterfly stretch here. How about teaching your kids too, right? For those of you who are parents, my goodness, having to teach kids at home, I really, really sympathize for you guys. Sounds horribly hard. And so a lot of things hit us early on and we weren't expected for it. And some were harder than others to kind of get used to. But at this point, we're a number of months in and there's less surprise to what we're doing. And it could be a really great time for you, is something that I've done recently, to reassess how I'm scheduling myself, to reassess what activities are most important for keeping me happy, especially when we're kept indoors a little bit more so than usual, kept at home a little bit more so than usual. Let's get a nice big inhale in, nice long exhale out. We'll go ahead and go into our kneeling, half kneeling pose. Left knee down, right foot out in front. Or bring that left arm up. We're gonna squeeze your left butt cheek. And if you could bring that right arm off to the side, we're gonna practice some good balance here as well. And so in the reassessment, I wanted to start looking at how can I make my schedule work for me better, right? Where can I condense things? Where can I open up additional space so that I'm not pulled randomly in each direction like it kind of felt like when things initially hit, and even into those following few months. Let's go ahead and bring the hand down. Let's go ahead and twist or switch to having that right knee down, left foot out in front. We'll bring that right arm up. We'll squeeze your right butt behind you on this. So I kind of wanted to encourage you guys to think not only about reevaluating your schedule, but to think about where have you struggled in things, what has presented bigger challenges that have been harder to get over, and what are some solutions that you've already identified or could potentially identify for helping you get through some of these struggles. Let's go ahead and bring the hand down. We're going to get into a nice comfortable position seated, and we're just going to finish up with a little bit of side reaching and a little bit of neck roll. So one hand down, the other hand up and overhead. We're going to hold here and do a few good breaths. And so by reevaluating not only the struggles, but also, what are the events that make you happy? How much access do you have to those? How much time can you allot to do those sort of things? Let's switch it, opposite side. Also, it might be a time to reassess financial situations. based on what you use now as opposed to what you used 5-6 months ago. Maybe it's worth re-looking at your data on your cell phone because you're on your wireless internet all the time. Maybe it's worth re-changing the amount of miles that you drive on your car as your commute for your auto insurance. Go ahead and bring it down and give me a few neck rolls in one direction. Then after about 3 in one direction, we'll switch over to the opposite side. And then go ahead and rotate it opposite side. So as we finish up here, I just wanted to, leave you with the mentality of change is always inevitable. It is always something within your reach. And I want you all to make changes that improve your life, to make your life more wonderful. I think the more that we can remember that when we're happy, we can help others as well, and how important both those are to a great world around us, especially as we're in these times. So thank you for joining me, everybody. Thanks for putting up with my sweaty mess on this end of things. I will see you very, very soon.